Over the past century, rising sea levels have threatened China more significantly than most countries. According to predictions by scientists at Climate Central, an American NGO, by 2100, 43 to 57 million Chinese could find themselves living below the high tide line. According to a report released by China's Ministry of Natural Resources in April, the country's coastal sea level has risen an average of 4 millimeters per year since 1993, compared with a global average increase of 3.4 millimeters. In 2022, the sea level on China's coast rose 10 millimeters. China's location in the western Pacific Ocean also exposes its southern and eastern coast to about a dozen typhoons a year. The current higher sea levels will amplify the storm surges experienced when the storms come ashore. Developments since Deng Xiaoping's reforms have made things worse. Half of China's coastal wetlands and mangroves, considered natural shields against flooding, have been destroyed. Cities pumped a massive amount of groundwater out of the earth and built heavy skyscrapers. As a result, subsidence causes land in some cities to sink into the sea even faster than sea level rises. Areas of Shenzhen are losing 74 millimeters per year. Tianjin in the north is facing a similar challenge. Rising seas have been causing many problems, such as damaging crops and threatening drinking water. Many areas of China's coast have retreated tens of meters because of damaged buildings and infrastructure. The most significant danger is flooding. According to insurance company Munich Re, last year, floods in the coastal provinces of Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian caused damages of $5 billion, of which only 6% were insured. When rescue efforts fail, officials resort to cover-ups. In 2021, after rainfall devastated the central city of Zhengzhou, foreign media coverage of the flooding was harassed and the scope of the damage was concealed. The Chinese Communist Party has rejected some international estimates of sea level rise, such as that of Climate Central. Beijing officials have warned environmental NGOs to avoid studying the country's coastlines, citing security concerns. In 2021, a group trying to monitor marine pollution was accused of collecting data for foreign spies. Some parts of the CCP regime acknowledged this matter. A report from April suggested that key economic sectors should put in place migration plans to guard against the worst-case scenario. However, coastal land in China is most valuable, so CCP officials want to continue building on it. Currently, massive construction projects are still going on along the coast. In Shantou, a port city on the south coast known for fierce storms, a 22,000-seat stadium near the sea has been completed. It is surrounded by construction sites that will become industrial zones and residential buildings. Officials are betting on sea walls to protect those assets. They stated these fortified walls were resilient to 1-in-200-year floods. Shanghai caught the world's attention when it built a once-in-1,000-year barrier for its central districts, while in the Netherlands, planners required a 1-in-10,000-year protection for cities at the seaside. Furthermore, according to a government report, about half of seawalls in China need to be of better quality. Even walls that meet official standards may only last for a while in the face of increasingly severe natural disasters in the country. A 2019 report by the Intergovernmental Panel, the United Nations Climate Change, has predicted that once-in-100-year floods could occur every year by 2050 due to sea level rise. So far, about 430 kilometers of seawalls are under construction. They are likened to the new Great Wall of China. However, upgrading the seawall will become increasingly expensive due to the cost rising sharply with height. At the same time, the risk of failure of this project also increases as sea levels rise. Higher seawalls create the illusion of safety, leading to more construction. Scott Moore of the University of Pennsylvania said, "You could be setting yourself up for failure and putting people in real danger later on." The people of Shantou probably understand very well the dangers of the sea. In 1969, more than 500 soldiers and university students drowned when a levee collapsed in a storm. They lost their lives while trying to protect reclaimed farmland from the sea. Flood control measures failed again in 2013, killing 10 people. Earlier this year, the city government admitted in a report that its defenses were incomplete. However, the locals don't seem to be worried. Many see rising sea levels as a distant danger. A local museum displays before and after pictures of the city since Deng Xiaoping implemented reforms. Swamps of wetlands and muddy fields turned into high-rises and factories. The exhibition uses an appropriate Chinese idiom to describe these major changes. The blue sea turns into a mulberry field. The danger is that only some believe this process can be reversed.